Hello, and welcome to another edition of CMS Forex News. I'm market analyst Nick Nassad. Today is Thursday, November 13th, 2008. We begin in New Zealand, where retail sales were shown to have climbed a weak 0.1% in September, coming in below expectations. Excluding auto sales from the equation, sales were down 0.5%. Japanese wholesale prices are declining sharply, according to the Bank of Japan. The slide in commodity prices recently is pushing down other prices. The monthly rate of the corporate goods price index declined 1.6% in October, making it the third straight month that prices were lower. On the year, prices decelerated to 4.8% from their 6.8% seen the previous month. The German economy contracted more than expected in the third quarter, marking 2 straight quarters of contraction and pushing the country into a technical definition of a recession. The 0.5% fall in growth follows a 0.4% decline in the second quarter. The slowdown was led by weaker demand for German exports while imports rose. Consumers are likely to cut back spending and save more as the economy weakens further in the fourth quarter. That will scale back activity further, and the chances of a prolonged recession are definitely in the cards. The euro-dollar pair hit a new 3-week low near 1.2390 following the GDP release, but managed to recover prior to the New York Open. A late rally in U.S. stocks helped risk appetite, or at least created the conditions for a correction to the decline seen so far this week. The euro climbed to 1.2725 around 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The euro also managed to stage a strong rally against the yen. After setting a new record high yesterday, the euro-pound pair surged another 280 pips today, reaching the 0.8650 level by 3:30 p.m. Eastern. Traders are pricing in more rate cuts from the Bank of England. The pound also sank further against the greenback, falling further below the key level of 1.50. The pound-dollar pair slid 360 pips today to set a low near 1.4560. That's an 800 pip fall since yesterday, when Bank of England Governor Mervyn King said the bank is ready to continue cutting rates to bolster the UK economy. In the US, jobless claims in the week ending November 8th rose 32,000 to 516,000, the highest level in 7 years. The 4-week moving average rose to its highest level in 17 years, and continuing claims hit 3.89 million, a 25-year high. The U.S. trade deficit narrowed to $56.5 billion in September from $59.1 billion earlier. However, most of the decline comes as a result of a smaller import bill for petroleum. Excluding petroleum, the deficit widened as overseas sales of American-made goods dropped by the most since 2001. Exports were down 6%, the largest fall since 2001, while imports were down a record 5.6%. The current economic climate is causing a pullback in American spending on foreign autos and televisions. Meanwhile, the Canadian trade surplus narrowed to 4.5 billion Canadian dollars for September, the weakest level since January of this year. Canadian exports were down 1%, the second consecutive month that export growth has been negative. Imports increased 1.9%, the fifth increase in 6 months following a 5.7% decline in August. The US dollar-Canadian dollar pair has been climbing this week on risk aversion and falling oil prices. In today's session, the pair ran up against resistance at 124.45 and turned back, falling in favor of the loonie in late New York trading. And it reached the 1.2166 area during that time. The dollar-yen pair bounced off its low to start the global session near the 94.50 level. U.S. stocks started the session choppy, with the Dow Jones index briefly falling below the psychologically important 8,000 level. However, the afternoon saw U.S. stocks stage a rally, which helped to power the greenback to the 97.60 level against the yen. Overnight, Germany and the Eurozone released final figures for October consumer prices. Also, the Eurozone will post its first release of third quarter GDP. Tomorrow, the U.S. releases data on retail sales, import prices, business inventories, and consumer confidence, while Canada posts its manufacturing and motor vehicle sales. And that wraps up our broadcast. Thank you for joining us, and come back tomorrow as we close out another week in the Forex markets. Take care and happy trading.